Hi there, I've got some new experimental stuff here. It's called Sand. It's more of a sound design tool than musical effects. It's a compender, but with a twist. It acts not on the original signal, but on its derivative. And compender is a sort of a inverse compressor. It makes the quiet signals louder and adds some soft limiting on top. Compending the signal does make it sound a little bit like an overdrive, but since it acts on the derivative, it acts as a weird high-pass filter too. Weird in a sense that it does not just add texture, sometimes it also extracts some features from the sound. So let me show you around the UI quick here. All controls are MIDI learnable, and hovering mouse over control will show you a hint. On the bottom left, you have an info button where you can get some technical details in case if you want to file bugs or visit my website. On the bottom right, you have the resizer corner. One of the main controls is the compending amount, and here it is. The maximum amplification reaches something like 140 decibels. It's enough to extract even the dithering noise and sometimes very interesting details that your ear doesn't catch. Here is the order of the derivative that you want to take. Notice that when you pick 0, it acts on the original signal. If you pick -1, it goes the other way around, and instead of taking the derivative, integrates the signal. Just an experimental feature. Sometimes it sounds cool. I prefer to work with orders from the 1st to the 5th, but sometimes higher orders also sound very interesting. These two controls are self-explanatory. If you remove softness, it gets really gritty, and debreak is your last resort when you overcompress the signal, but you always have to try to pick a lower compression than use debreaking. Here you have a filter, you have 3 pass types. You can change the position of the filter in the signal chain. The filter is very stable, so you can modulate any of its parameters as much as you want without worrying that it goes off the rails. And here you have a dry-wet control that you can conveniently switch to separate dry and wet. Sometimes it's really useful. That's pretty much all that you have to know to use Sand. As I said, it's a highly experimental plugin. Some of my friends used it in sound design, for example, to make sound more gritty. I personally prefer to use it on field recordings to extract unusual textures from the sound. Applied on bass, drum beats, and on voice too. For example, I've recorded this and used AI to clean up the recording, but it damaged some of the higher frequencies in my voice. So I used Sand to restore them. But you should use it just a little bit so that the sound stays natural. Okay, so let me know what you come up with, and if you have any questions or suggestions, drop a comment. Thanks, and see you later.